Hey guys, Kane here, and in this video we're going to go through day 2 to day 4 in the new server. Now, I know I said I want to cover these days on a day-by-day basis, but I didn't really have anything much to talk about. More or less it was just doing the PvE events, acquiring new heroes, and then doing the PvE events again, as well as just trying some PvP. But PvP only became pretty recent just today, and just today because I managed to upgrade some heroes and also increase my power quite a bit. So first things first, you can see that I am currently rank 2 as a VIP 2. Now, to reach VIP 2, you can get like a VIP scores or VIP points from just leveling up in the game. As you can see, these badge points are like the VIP stuff. However, I have spent $3 in this game, as you can see here. It says recharge 10 here and recharge 7 here. So essentially, this account is not free to play, but you know, $3, it really isn't much, so I suppose you can deem it as like a small spender. Even though, like, these two packs for $20 would make my account insanely overpowered to the point I would even take over the rank 1 in the server. That is how powerful like these passes are. And not only like these passes, they will give me free speed up stuff, so I would like be very efficient in events, unlock them earlier above other players or at the same time of other players, and as well as it would unlock the tome. So the tome is like the benefits in here, so I would get more experience, more recruit tickets, which would essentially grant me core heroes faster, something to upgrade my Sasan, which I've said to many players, if you want to be efficient, you have to run the elf race, and you have to upgrade Sasan as high as possible. So this makes it a lot faster to reach the mythic and the immortal quality. Now, level 5, you would get a core hero, which again, efficiency, then again, formation recruits, then again, like Sasan shards, and etc. So, essentially, like just spending $20 in this game can actually make you pretty strong. But decision making also varies through player, and depending what rewards you have, where you spend them, can make a very huge difference as well. So my rank 1 currently is VIP 9, and he's running the mage and the ASMR composition. Now this composition is pretty overpowered in the early game to the point that like these ASMRs, or rather the Zion, can essentially almost one-shot my entire field. However, this is not going to happen in the very near future. And the very near future is like 1 to 2 weeks whenever I get my proper equipment on my heroes. And I've already tested quite a few fights with this guy in Arena. I've lost every single one of them. However, a couple of times I did manage to get close, and I think I think he had like 2 units left. Now, I'm not entirely sure which fight, but as you can see, like his Zion and like this raccoon one kind of does a lot of damage. Now, I've messed around with quite a few formations, so this is just like one replay of my fight. So as you can see, his front line is almost down. I needed one hero to tank at least a little bit of the attacks, and my like this Just Bray is almost useless. So I kind of wanted to sacrifice it here. So as you can see, the Zion just killed like 3 units, and then like that raccoon kind of finished everyone off. So essentially, the further it goes, the more equipment, the more items I'm gonna get, stuff to upgrade units, and it's not going to happen like that, as I've already know from like my experience that I had in my previous server. I was against a Zion which had 1.4 million power, comparing to like majority of the units on my field with like 1 million, and the Zion double casting barely even got like 50% of all the units on the field, and 50% isn't much. And in the next turn, all of your heroes have their ultimate ability. So with that, I'm not really afraid of. So that aside, like the assassin formation, like they are pretty good at PvE early game, and they are pretty good at PvP as well. As you can see, my arena rank is currently rank 2, and the PvE is also not too bad. Now, if we go to check the cube ruins, you can see that the rank 1, the guy who's VIP 9 and also like 300,000 higher, is stuck at 180. And me, I am stuck at 175. Now, these players below me are like VIP 4, I think VIP 5, this guy VIP 5, I think this one is 6 or 4. They're like 5s and 6s and whatever all around here. So, even 7. So, as you can see, like the assassins are pretty nasty if you build them properly. And the faster you reach to floor 200, you unlock this feature, and I do believe it has your own reset. So, for example, whenever you reach it, you will start to get a specific amount of days until it resets the stage that you're in. And usually that includes like just resetting some rewards in that stage, plus like gold and experience, which is very, very important. So the faster you reach floor 200, the more rewards you get, which is again, as I said, very important, and you have to be very efficient about it. So that aside, my team. So like I said to many players, if you want to play them, you have to invest a lot into your Sasan. So as you can see, I'm already even working towards Immortal on her. And the reason or how I got it was whenever I was pulling heroes, I was always pulling either here or pulling on the elves and the shadow blades through here, and I was getting her shards. I was resetting the shop for a little bit. I was buying even the elite choices for 250 diamonds. I mean, 250 diamonds is like one scroll in which you can pull, and you get usually a useless hero anyway. So 250 diamonds for an elite choice which you require in the shape of like Sasan, I would take it any day, and it's like advised in the early game to do so. If of course you're playing the elves and the shadow blades. That aside, there are a few other events like such as this one. I do believe, yeah, the shop has the elite hero choice, so this is like the first thing you would buy. Then you would buy the common ones, and then I suppose you would buy like the hero recruits, and then it's up to you. So yeah, that aside, you have to juggle between like PvE events, you have to juggle between some other stuff as well as like the guild. Um, the thing is, without spending money in this game, you're going to achieve like those events a lot later than other players. But you don't need to deem this as like a very huge step back or stuff like that. So if we go on to the rankings, you can see that the rank 1 is 77, I am 69, rank 3 is 74, 79, 78, 80, 77, and stuff like that. So I am about 10 levels lower than majority of the players, yet I am rank 2 in power. So it really just comes down to proper investment and proper like playing, proper event clearing, quite a few retrying, and all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether or not these things work on other formations, because really Sasan is like one of the very few heroes which are insanely overpowered early game, and she becomes even more and more overpowered the further it goes, all because of this specific relic which you have to upgrade as well. and you have to upgrade it for the reason of getting more ignore of the target's defenses. So as you can see, I have a few artifacts or other relics not unlocked, yet I already have almost legendary plus relic. And as you can see, majority of others are just like the basic gatherings, while this one I'm spending everything to get it at least like mythic, perhaps even mythic plus, until I would focus something else. And that is how overpowered this relic is. And the reason for that is basically like the Sasan will just be one hitting the front line. Even if the front line would have like 250,000 physical defense, Sasan would just use this relic's special ability or special skill rather, and she will be one-shotting the tanks, which is again why it's very important for PvP. Not as important for PvE, I suppose, but like the crit rate also helps in the PvE. That aside, it's pretty simple, you know. Weapon, I already reached Mythic. Now, quite a lot of players haven't, except for the rank 1, which has like 2 heroes Mythic, which is kind of surprising how he got all those materials. I know he can buy some from the shop. I know he can buy some from like the arena shop. He has made a mythic on the Zion, which kind of costs quite a lot. So I'm not entirely sure where he got all those mats from. And he reached mythic on the puck as well. But we're not going to question it. We're just gonna roll with it. So, anyways, like I said, full investment on one hero, and you will reap the benefits. And as you can see, me being rank 2 is kind of like an example of that happening. All of these people around me, they all have the tome, they all have the privileges unlocked, and I don't, and I have some pretty decent stuff already. Now, the plans for the future are kind of pretty simple, and you can even basically just assume what I said before. So I'm going to make my Sasan immortal probably +3 or even +4 because I will be unlocking the cube core or whatever it's called. 1 second. I will be unlocking the hidden tower rather, and I will be getting a lot of those starfire stones, which would be able to upgrade her. So whenever I unlock that, I will be getting a lot of elite choices. I will be getting a lot of those starfires. So basically, Sasan will be almost instantly immortal +3 or stuff like that, and then you will be able to focus all other heroes with either like getting more starfire stones whenever they reach immortal, or getting scrolls and then pulling for heroes. You know, there are choices which you can pick in that particular event, not just like specific things or whatever. So that aside, I am focusing on pulling for Orlando instead of pulling for Scatha, which a lot of players would recommend you instead of Orlando. Now, there is a very simple reason why you would want to pick Orlando instead of Scatha. So one of the main reasons would be because he can reduce or rather clear all the target's mana, right? So that is the first thing. The second thing is all damage dealt by this hero is converted into true damage. Now, true damage on him is pretty friggin' insane. And what I mean by friggin' insane is because he deals a lot, and I do mean a lot, of magic attack damage. And his magic damage has a percent chance to do splash damage. So if we go on to his weapon, as you can see, when the magic spell deals damage, a percent chance to deal 50% splash damage. Now that splash damage can also probably can be on effect, which means remove all of their mana. So that is one of the few reasons why you would want to run this, but as well as you would want to run this for this particular relic. Now, the relic carrier deals 20% damage to targets with over 50% HP. So majority of his like 300% damage scalings from skills such as this, like look, deal 480% to a single target in the back row. Like majority of these, and keep in mind, guys, like this 480% is literally true damage. So something like this relic will scale that damage, and if you go further into this relic, you can read that Mythic deals damage 30%, first magic spell deals additional 40% true damage. And also, this increases his magic damage as well, which again will be true damage anyway. So this guy is kind of like the assassin that potentially will one-shot almost every time on his turn. I mean, it really depends who he hits. Essentially, there are some counters and whatever, but majority of the time you want this for PvP or to just nuke some DPS in the back line, more so than your front line. So this one is basically just clearing the back line, while Skata is more on clearing the front line. However, you only have one very good relic, and there are no other good relics that would make Skatha do a lot of damage. Sure, it would increase like some damages, like physical damage boost and whatever, but Sasan already has this, and she does a lot of damage as it is, and she can do AoE damage. And that is why you would want to focus these two, because of the particular relics, and not being, or rather, there not being a particular relic to make Skatha better, just because you're using Sasan. In the future, maybe a month after or whatever, when you get Skatha to Immortal plus a few stars, then you may want to swap from Sasan to Skatha and stuff like that. But until then, I would suggest like these two heroes, at least if you're running the Elf and the Shadow Blades. That aside, I see a lot of players playing the Ilneas instead of like the Irvin or Jude. Now, I know quite a lot of times I said that Jude is bad, but currently I think Jude is a little bit better than Ilneas, but essentially I will be swapping Jude with Ilneas whenever I get her to Immortal or stuff like that. But for now, Jude, can someone tank PvE rather easily? Question mark. I'm not sure. I get a lot of his shards. I can buy a lot of his shards cheap. So essentially, I can keep him information, and it's rather sort of helps out to clear stuff, to tank stuff, so my Sasan can do a bit more damage. I was running mostly Irvin and Ilneas frontline before, so I'm just trying like Jude out, and we'll see how it goes. Not really fond of running it, because majority of the people on my server is running mages or assassins with the defense shatter, but you know, what can you do? So that aside from the heroes, that's really pretty much it for the servers right now. The thing is, majority of the events will come out after the 7 days or a few days after. So for example, this will give an insane amount of rewards, an insane amount of stats, and whatever. This one as well, which unlocks after a few days, gives an insane amount of materials as well, to the point like you can upgrade a lot, and I do mean a lot. This one, I'm not entirely sure what this event is about, but as you can see, clear stages to get an insane amount of rewards as well, so it's pretty good. And majority of these, uh they also give you a lot of stuff. So yeah, it's pretty friggin' insane. I know that from these like few events where you get like these heroes, you can get 6 core hero choices. And 6 core hero choices means you just literally skip one type of, let's say, quality. So if you see my Orlando is mythic, I require 6 copies of Orlando to make it to Mythic Plus from Mythic. So as you can see, I've already spent 3 and I need 3 more. So 6 is a pretty insane amount. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the video. I think I covered majority of it. I think I've covered like the arena rankings, PV content, all that kind of stuff. I think I'm gonna try cover up more stuff in the next few days in terms of like PvP, talking about PvP and all that kind of stuff. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay safe out there.